for the Democratic presidential nomination.
It is not over till it's over and over and over. The Democrats try to settle on a candidate.
I think it is now a mathematical certainty that both of them will end the primary season, neither of them having the 2025 to win, and superdelegates are going to have to make the difference.
Clinton strategist Harold Ickes says that he will no longer call them superdelegates, but rather automatic delegates.
There's a lot of spin going on. I think Florida and Michigan is a sideshow. I think the popular vote is a sideshow. There are lots of sideshows.
And he says that if neither candidate has clinched the nomination by the time the voting ends in June, that the superdelegates should vote their best judgment regardless of which candidate has the most elected delegates or the most popular vote.
Superdelegates doesn't mean that they should leap over the will of the people in a single bound. It means they should pay attention to what's going on and make a judgment as to who would be the strongest candidate based on the results of the primary.
The superdelegates are supposed to vote their conscience.
Here's what Barack Obama says on the sensitive issue of superdelegates and how they should cast their votes.
Our position has always been clear, which is that the voters should make these decisions. Whoever has the most pledged delegates at the end of this contest, should be the nominee.
Senator Obama very ironically wants to change the rules of the game in the middle of the game, or game the rules to get an outcome.
Each candidate is going to proffer the rule that is in their best interest right now.
We have a system of electing delegates, and then the rules allow for these superdelegates. And so those are the rules. I don't think we should change the rules in the middle of the contest.
Superdelegates were intended, I was there when they were created as a Democratic National Committee member, to vote their conscience regardless of what happens in the elected delegate and caucus states. Those are the rules.
The rules were that the Democratic National Committee said that Michigan and Florida did not get any delegates, were stripped of their delegates because they moved up in the process, and all the candidates agreed to those rules.
Florida and Michigan. We believe Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina play a unique and special role in the nomination process. We believe the DNC rules and its calendar provide the necessary structure to respect and honor that role. Thus, we will be signing the pledge to adhere to the DNC-approved nominating calendar. That was the Clinton campaign in September. Here's the Clinton campaign in February. With regard to Michigan and Florida, our position is clear. We're going to ask our delegates to vote to seat the delegations from Florida and Michigan.
I hope that the Clinton campaign is not arguing that we should abandon an agreement that was reached by all of the presidential candidates to abide by the Democratic National Committee rules.
Senator Schumer, Senator Clinton said in October, you know it's clear this election they're having in Michigan is not going to count for anything. Is that your position?
Well, no. Here's the bottom line once again, Tim. Each candidate, of course, takes the position that benefits them at the moment.
Wait a minute, Senator. Yeah. The Clinton campaign put out a statement saying they accepted the DNC rules.
But
so you're no longer accepting them?
Well, let me say this, Tim. The bottom line is, for Florida and Michigan, I believe it's much like the superdelegates. There's a great dispute here.
The fact is the rules were the rules. They were very clear.
Having a set rule in sand, when, of course, each candidate chooses the rule at the moment that is in their self-interest, makes no sense.
Do you agree that those rules shouldn't also be changed?
The Democratic Party, through the Rules Committee, will be charged with resolving that issue. It's a very, very difficult issue, and it has no easy answer.
But why should that rule be changed in the middle of the game and when you said that the superdelegate shouldn't be?
Well, because the rules allow the Credentials Committee to make those decisions. That's a part of the current rulemaking process of the Democratic Party. That's not changing the rules at all. It's giving the authority to determine who is a valid delegate to the Credentials Committee, and that will be done.
Governor Doyle?
And that's a part of our rules.
The bigger question is Michigan and Florida. That is really, you heard Governor Strickland today saying, well, part of the rules is that we can go to the Credentials Committee, and there are Clinton people who are saying, even if we don't have a lead in the pledged delegates, we think we can have we can kind of pack the Credentials Committee and get those delegates.
The overall rule, Tim, that has to govern here is to come up with a general way to solve this problem that each side can buy into and each side will abide by no matter who the ultimate winner is.
One of the plans being proposed is that there be caucuses in Michigan and Florida where both Obama and Clinton could compete. Would you support that?
Well, again, Barack has done better in caucuses. Hillary has done better in primaries. So I guess the Clinton campaign would say if we're going to have something, you have to have primaries.
How you see Michigan and Florida and the superdelegates depends on who you're for. The superdelegates, Obama doesn't want to play by the rules as stated, although I doubt many voters understand the superdelegate rule, which is you do what you want, and you're supposed to save the party from people who are insurgents. And on Michigan and Florida, he does want to play by the rules because the rules are clear, and there are lots of statements of Clinton on the record saying, yes, Michigan and Florida don't count.
Is this process that the Democratic Party has come up with really fair?
Well, whether it's fair or not, those are the rules we have to work with.
If this gets down to a fight about rules at the convention, about seating Florida and Michigan, this is going to be a train wreck for the Democratic Party.
Headed for a train wreck.
This is going to be a disaster.
It would be a disaster.
That is a disaster.
An absolute disaster for the Democratic Party. Very, very harmful to the party.
Destroy the party, greatly weaken the party.
Rip the Democratic Party in two. Blow up the party.
Remember Chicago in 1968, in which the party bosses took over.
1968. You know what a mess that was. If the superdelegates intervene and to get in the way of it and say, oh no, we are going to determine what's best, there will be chaos at the convention. If you think 1968 was bad, you watch 2008, it'll be worse.
I think that shows you how sensitive this is.
We have blown it before. We thought we were going to win in 2000. We won the popular vote. We didn't have the president. We thought we were going to win in 2004. We are on the edge of victory here. To have these fights right now.
That's something that they realize is a suicide pact.
We don't want that outcome in Denver.
Gentlemen,
Here, here.